What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. We are super busy today. I got a whole bunch of things going on. Sam is super busy, so we're gearing up. I already told you guys last video, she is going to be doing a flea market. Her first flea market, selling all her handmade candles and soaps. So we're gearing up for that. Look at all these really nice soaps, and these are all soaps. And then she has wax melts and stuff. These are all wrapped up safely so they don't get banged around. She's got a whole bunch of stuff.
I could do a whole bunch of different molds.
Oh, here she comes.
So those are.
Look at this. Look at that one. That one is awesome.
And this one has flowers in it, dried up flower.
And just for the record, these are soaps. They're all soaps.
And then cute little owls that are soaps too. Like I could do a whole bunch of different things.
Oh, that one pooped itself. Nah.
It has flowers in it, and ombre too. The ombre is very popular.
Yeah. So we're gearing up for that. Also for those wine lovers, we got a wine candle going. Man, today I got to show you guys something outside. So as you guys have been knowing, I have a new addiction. No, it's not crack cocaine, even though sometimes I feel like I'm on it. But jumped in I peeked in a dumpster, and you guys, look at what I found. These are all full of hand sanitizer. Look at the size. These things are huge too. I don't know if you can tell. I got boxes and boxes of those. These things are completely full. These are the minis, little pocket size. I mean, tons of them, guys. And then we got more over here. And these are the hand pump ones. I mean, cases, all free, guys, right out of the dumpster. So, just another pure example of how much we waste. Damn, these are full too. They must have fell over. Just, you know, an example of how much we waste in this country. So, I'm gonna put up my own little table at her booth. You know, she has one table. I'm gonna have a smaller table. I'm gonna throw some of them up, see if anybody will bite. I'm gonna put them up real cheap, like the pockets are gonna be like 25 cents, and then the other ones. I think these are pretty damn big, so I might do these for like $1.50 or $2, and then the ones in the middle size I'll probably do for like $1. I don't know, but yeah, that's what we're doing today. I'm waiting for Amazon to get here because I made 2 separate orders actually, but I'm waiting on 3 roof vents. I'm gonna do 3 brand new roof vents. I'm also gonna go ahead and order a new skylight for this RV because, let me see if I step back if you guys can see it. You can see it. It's very high profile and very faded and ugly. It's in good shape. It's not cracked or anything, but I just want, like, she wants a clear one so she can see out of it, and it'll just look a lot nicer, and it won't have so much drag when we're driving down the road. We're gonna get it much closer to the roof, so I'm gonna order that. But anyway, I'm waiting on a electric vent that's coming today for the bathroom, because when we bought this RV, it didn't have a working vent. And sometimes when you go to the bathroom, you need it. I don't know how else to say it, but sometimes you just have those days where you're like, wow, it stinks in here. So I'm waiting on that. I'm gonna order some lunch because I'm real hungry, and I think Amazon doesn't usually get here till around 1 or 2 p.m. So once they get here, we're gonna hop up on the roof and install that vent. And of course, I'll bring you guys along just in case you have an RV or a trailer or a cargo trailer. You can always install them on that too. And I'll quickly and easily show you how they get installed. All right, guys, it's that time. The roof vent has finally came about a half hour ago, but I was taking a little afternoon snooze because that's what you do when you're getting older. You just sleep during the day. So first thing we're gonna do to replace that vent is we're gonna pull this piece down. I forget what the name of it is, but we are gonna pull that down, and then we're gonna hop on the roof, and everything else comes out from the top. And at which point I will show you guys the new fancy roof vent we got. It looks quite a bit different than this one. So as you can see, we are totally missing the motor right here. There's a fan rather. There's supposed to be a fan here, and then above that, you can kind of see it. That's the motor, but it just doesn't work. And I'm also missing the handle to raise and close this lid. So it's just a mess. It's just useless. So we're going to pull all that out and replace it today with a brand new one. Alright, guys, I got the vent down. And as you can see, I got the wires disconnected from the actual vent cap. So I capped the wires just for safety's sake. You probably really don't have to do that, especially if you don't have kids around or anything like that. But I did it anyway. And now we're going to hop up on the roof and pull it all out from there. This is the screen. Just a pro tip: when you take this out, there's probably going to be some kind of debris, gnats, or or bugs or dead mosquitoes or whatever. So just make sure when you take this down, you take it down level, you don't take it down an angle. Otherwise, everything's gonna be all over you. Alright guys, this is the vent we're gonna be replacing today. You can kind of see it's very weather worn. It's not cracked or anything, but it is very kind of like flimsy. It's basically the sun that does it. It really just wears them out, gets them really cracked out, brittle. Plus, like I said, the fan doesn't work on this one, so I really wanted it to work. So we're gonna pull this out by first removing all this caulking around, and then there's screws under here. So we're gonna pull those out and then shimmy it up, and this whole thing should just lift away. It's not that big of a deal, not that big of a job. Should take overall about, I don't know, 15-20 minutes with wiring and everything. All right, so when doing these kind of jobs, I personally like a bigger, heavy-duty flathead screwdriver. That way you can kind of just stick it under here. Now there's a metal trim that comes out from this vent, so I usually hit that, and then I slide, and then I lift. And I try to expose the screws as much as I can. Now you gotta be careful, especially on a rubber roof. This is a TPO roof. So it's a little bit more heavy duty than a rubber roof, but you don't want to put the tip of this screwdriver into here and cause rips. That is the last thing we want to do. So just be very careful. That's why I usually go on an angle. And you can feel the difference between gliding. This right here is metal, so you can feel the difference between the screwdriver gliding on the metal and then gliding on a TPO or rubber or whatever you have. Now this is very easy for me because my caulking was just applied maybe 4 or 5 months ago, so it's nice and fresh and it's still very pliable. If you have a roof where this hasn't been done in a while, nobody's recaulked this, this caulking could potentially be very hard, very brittle, and could be a real pain to get on. Alright guys, so got all the screws exposed. There's about 15 screws that go all the way around, so usually what I'll do is I'll get all of them exposed, and then after that I'll come with the drill, we'll undrill all of them, and we'll pry it up, and then after that it seems to be quite a bit easier to remove the rest of the remaining caulk to the best we can before installing the new vent and laying down a fresh bead of caulk. Alright, we got all 15 screws out. Now I'm just going to clear the caulk around away from the base plate, so you can see this metal base plate. When we clear the caulk away from that, we will very gently slip our flathead screwdriver under here, and we're going to pry up. You don't want to pry up too hard or too fast because you could rip the whole top coat of the roof off, and we do not want to do that. Alright guys, there it is, busted vent. So as you can see clearly now, this one is totally missing the fan and the part that raises and closes it, so that is not going to work for us. Now you can see inside the RV, got the wires ready to hook up for the new one. So that'll be a super simple install. Basically what we're going to do now is we're going to go all along these edges and make sure that the caulking is all cleaned up. We're going to get rid of this old gasket material and prep this area for the new vent. Alright, I pulled off all the old die core as much as I could. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take caulking, a pretty thick bead, not over exaggerating, but a thick bead, and we're going to run over all these holes all the way around, guys, okay? Using a non-sag caulking. You're not going to use like die core self-leveling sealer just yet. You are going to need it, but not for this part. So we're going to get that done, and then we're going to lay this vent in the hole. Alright guys, mission complete. We went a nice seal. The point of this is when you press this, when you flip this over and you set it into the hole, you press it down. Now you're going to have a nice watertight seal all the way around the bottom. It's just an added layer of protection. That way you don't get water in your roof. Also, the reason we cover the holes is because when we drill through the holes, it's going to suck up some of that caulking and it's going to secure the hole and the screw. So that way water doesn't get in it. Alright, when you put this, when you put the vent inside, you want to make sure that the wire side is on the same side as the wire side where the RV's wires are coming at it. That way you have the most wire length to work with. It'll make this job way easier. If you don't do that, it's gonna be a problem. So we're gonna flip this around and sit it in. Also, when you sit it in, you want to make sure these wires sit in comfortably and you're not crimping them or cutting them or jamming them in between here and the roof to the point where you wouldn't even be able to get them. So make sure you pay attention to these wires, guys. Alright, so I got the vent in. As you guys can see, I still got to peel all this away. This is not a big deal. But you can see the caulking coming through the holes. That's a really good sign. We want that. So after you place it down in the hole and it's nice and square where you want it to be, you're going to push this down all around. That way you see the caulking come through. Alright guys, we are all screwed in. The only thing left I got to do is die core it so we can seal it up. Pro tip, always make sure all your screws are in and secured, okay? There's even 3 screws in here. Another pro tip, make sure your vent opens the correct way. So the front of the RV is over here. You always want your, what is this called? Oh my god, the hinge, sorry. You always want your hinge facing the front of the RV. That way the vent will open up this way. That way, if you're one of those people that rides down the highway with this open, which I personally don't recommend because these things are only plastic, and I know you and your uncle and your pappy from 400 years ago or have been doing this every day and you never had an issue, yada yada, but that's just my recommendation. These things are not built super heavy duty, so I always keep mine closed. Now, when you install one of these guys, what I've noticed on the newer vents, especially the electronic ones, they don't take as many screws to screw back down as the other standard vent like this. Now you can see on this one, there's a screw every 1.5 inches or so. On this one, it's much more spaced out. So we have a lot of screws left, which isn't an issue. You can either clean these up and save them, or you can properly discard them. Now, another recommendation I have is you may want to keep this vent as a backup, just in case something lands on this or something like that, and you need to swap it out because you can't find a vent right away. I went to 3 different stores, guys, to find a RV roof vent, and I can't believe none of them had it in stock. They hardly had these in stock. So it might be a good idea to maybe just hold on to one if you have the space. Just in case, you know, a storm comes, this thing cracks, at least you could swap it out real quick for the meantime until you get a new one that you actually want. So, yeah. Anyway, we're going to hop over here. This is what we're going to cover all the screws with. This is the proper stuff. Now, there's many different makes. You don't have to use Dicor. There's Alpha, there's Dicor, there's, I think Walmart makes a certain brand. They're all decent. This is the industry standard, though. This is Dicor self-leveling sealer. Comes in different colors. I prefer white. It keeps the caulking the coolest, and it'll keep it in good shape. So, we are going to cut this open and lay it out. Alright guys, we are all die-cored all the way around. Now, I did 2 different beads, that's why you see them. But eventually, in the next couple minutes, it's all going to flatten out and turn into one nice, smooth bead. Something like what that one is. So, everything is all sealed up, went around all the bolts, the whole entire trim. Now we're going to go downstairs and install the garnish. That's what it's called. I couldn't remember the name of it before. The garnish from the inside. And wire it up, and we'll be good to go. Alright guys, this is it from the inside, wired it up. It's just 2 wires, a positive and negative. This is without the bevel, of course, the garnish. Now I am having an issue with the wire length, so, and I don't have a lot of space on that side to tuck the wire, unfortunately. I'm thinking that maybe I should have, if I could have wired it up before placing the whole thing all the way in the hole, I could have tucked it in. Now, since I screwed it all in and die-cored it, probably what I'm going to have to do is run to the store and get maybe like another 6 inches of wire and extend this. Because as you can see on this side, I got plenty of space in here to tuck this back in there, because I can't leave this here, one, because it looks ugly, and two, the garnish, the trim thing won't fit. But other than that, I have this thing all wired up. It is super quiet. Can you guys hear it? So that's on low. On high, it's a little louder. So that's on high. And this is sucking air in. So right now we're getting fresh air in here. And then the middle is off. Wait for this to stop all the way. Anytime now. Okay. Alright, and then the other way it'll suck air out. So here's high, medium, and low. So that's really nice. It'll keep everything nice and fresh in here. In and out. Super easy install. Like I said, I gotta get this squared away. The other issue I'm having is the garnish. They give you this super deep garnish. This is like 6 inches, and my roof is not that thick. So when I go to put it in there, it fits in good and everything, but it sticks out about, man, I don't know, 3 inches or so. I literally need maybe half of this, maybe less. So I'm gonna have to, they show in the instructions, you have to get a jigsaw and cut it down to the size that you need, and then you can put it up. And they give you the hardware too, which is nice. However, I gotta get those wires moved first. So I'm gonna go run to the RV store and see if I can hopefully get some, or the electrical store, wherever, it doesn't matter. Alright, well, I did what I really didn't want to do, but it's the easiest way to fix this problem, so I went ahead and did it. So basically, I jumped up on the roof, I wiped all that die core that I just put on there, wiped it all off, unscrewed this thing, slid it forward a little bit, tucked the wires back in there so you can see they're nice and neat away, and then now I'm going to go outside, we're going to cut that bevel up to trim the garnish. What a weird name. And then we're going to slip that on and we'll be all done with this project. Well guys, another project done in the RV. Sunday I have 2 manual vents coming, so those will be much easier to, not that this was hard at all, but I got 2 that are coming. Those will be super easy to install. I don't have enough die core right now, and the RV dealerships were closed, so right now it's just drilled back down. There's no die coursing over it, but it's not supposed to rain for the next, I don't know, like 4 or 5 days. So I'm gonna go ahead and order probably like 10 tubes of die core, because I like keeping them on hand. Plus each vent takes about 2 tubes, so I have 3 vents that I need to cover. That's 6 tubes alone, and then I like to have a couple extra on hand just in case of an emergency or whatever. So I'm gonna go ahead and order those. I also started thinking about doing RVIA certifications. So online I can get level 1 and level 2. There's 3 levels, and I really don't want to do it to work on RVs, although I could, and it would be a great yeah, like those techs make money, like $150 an hour. It's pretty good, but I'm not really doing it for that. I'd be doing it more for self, I don't know what the word is, but just to be able to fix my own stuff and not rely on these techs. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with relying on these techs as long as you have the money to, you know, rely on these techs. But also, sometimes they can be weeks or months out. I mean, in Florida, those guys are super, super busy, and it can be really difficult to get a mobile tech out there, like as soon as your air conditioner goes down or as soon as your fridge goes down. So if I could teach myself, or have these classes teach me how to do all these repairs and stuff like that, it would be great. So I can do level 1 and level 2 online, and then level 3 I believe is in person. And the course, the company that I was looking to go through is they have, I think it was schools in Texas and in Elkhart, Indiana. And I'm very familiar with Elkhart, Indiana. You know, we used to transport RVs at Elkhart, so it's a pretty cool little area. It's a small town. The winter sucks there. It's really freaking cold. It gets down to like -20, -30. So I'm hoping they have some like summer classes if I go that far. But level 1 and level 2, you learn quite a bit, and I love that it's online. So I can do it from here, and they give you 12 months to complete it. You can do it at your own pace, but it has to be within 12 months, and then they'll send you you take tests along the way, and then you get your certificate at the end. And like I said, you can either go out and work as an RV tech certified through the RVIA, so you'll be an RVIA certified technician, or you can just have self-knowledge and be able to fix your own RV. And I think that's super important. You know, Sam and I are really trying to prep in multiple different areas, and there are so many components on these RVs. I mean, so many. It's heating, HVAC, electrical. The engine and transmission is a whole nother ball game. I could do, you know, my own oil changes and transmission flushes and coolant and all that stuff, but like if I had to break down an engine, I'd be in trouble. So, but that's a whole nother ball game. But if I can learn all the different, you know, electronics and the fuse panels and the control boards and all that stuff, if I can learn how to do and fix that all myself, I would feel much better, especially as somebody who full-time and lives and travels in an RV all over the place. They even make courses for you know, people who own RVs, but they're very basic courses. They kind of just give you like a quick run through. It might be like 4 or 5 days, and they just give you a quick run through of like how to self-diagnose, you know, popular, I guess you would say, breakdowns such as air conditioner blowing cold, fridge, propane light is blinking, stuff like that. So it's just something to consider. Anyway, Sam stopped me. She said I'm rambling, but I just wanted to tell you guys.
My dress.
Yeah, and she wanted me to show her dress that she's wearing tomorrow. But I just wanted to, you know, make it a point and inform you guys that you can take these courses if you do have an RV and be able to take care of yourself. That's all. So, sorry for the rambling. I'm going to put an ending on this video. I hope you guys are all doing great. I hope you guys are thinking about the future, staying safe. Tomorrow's Sam's flea market, which is today. You guys will see this video today. Well, the day of her flea market. So, hopefully, wish us luck. Hopefully we do good. We got a whole bunch of them right here ready to go, and a ton more and in the car and stuff. So, fingers crossed. Anyway, hope you guys are doing great, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.